Welcome back, you guys. It's your boy Deluxe again, here with the most anticipated beard trim video. We're just gonna jump right into this. We're gonna start off with our Oster speed lines, attach a 2-guard, open it up all the way, and knock those first little stray hairs down. Go against the grain a little bit below the ear just to start the taper with that too. Then I start with my Andis Fade Masters close. I'm gonna knock out that top line close, halfway open, not going anywhere below that mid ear, and then working my way back up, open, halfway close, finishing off my Wall Heroes, take off that little guideline. Then I go out with my one on the Fade Masters open, kind of right below that bottom of the ear, fading up, open, halfway close. Same thing with the 0-guard. This is just going to getting into the taper of the beard. Finish that line off right behind the arch. Right here, I always want to be combing out, making sure I have the hair, anything that's poking out or anything that's kind of hiding in there, that when he goes home and takes a shower, it's not going to poke out on him. Now to start on that bottom line, as you can see, he has a pretty lengthy beard. So what I want to do is I don't want to take down too much length on the beard before I trim it. So I'm just going to move all the hair out of the way with my comb, kind of comb down any stray hairs or any hairs that are down there to make sure they make that nice crisp line. Go out with my Wall Heroes nice and easily, kind of work my way through from the center, working my way to the outside to make sure I don't push up that line beneath his chin too high. And I can always check myself to see where I'm going. Then I go out with my speed lines again, attach a 1-guard going with the grain on the mustache to make sure the mustache hair still stays dark enough, but we do kind of get that bushiness out of the way. Then I'm going to go ahead and attack that with my Wall Heroes. Now notice how I'm using the edge of the blade right here. I'm kind of going from the outer part of the lip and working my way in. I want to make sure I don't push up that line too far. Go ahead and grab my Andis Slimline Pros, work with that on the top of the mustache. I like these better just because mobility wise, when you flip the clipper upside down, that cord tends to pull in the opposite direction. I don't want to have a cord or anything kind of weighing me down or overcompensate for a cord when I'm doing a mustache. Then I'm going to go ahead and spritz the beard line just to make sure everything kind of stays in place, gives me that nice crispy line when I go over with my Andis clippers. And then I'm just going to start from the corner of the mouth of the beard and work my way up. I don't work my way down from the sideburn or the temple down on a beard lineup. I always like to work from the mouth and work my way up. I just feel I get a better lineup on the arch. I can see what's coming ahead of me, so I don't push down that beard line to make sure I keep it nice and full as possible. And then I just work that nice little sideburn area and create that nice transition. As you're gonna see, it makes that nice little hook. If I try to create that nice hook first and then try to line up with the rest of the beard, sometimes it's not always gonna match up. And then just rinse and repeat like we always do. What we do on one side, do the same damn thing on the other side. Go ahead with that 2-guard, make that little base to start up that taper. Go with my Fade Masters close, halfway open, and then go ahead and fade that line out. Now this is a beard trim video. My client does want his beard trim, but I always start off with the tapers first and taper them out and kind of get the outside lineup and that top lineup done first, just because for the fact that when I have taken down and done the beard trim first and then go at it with the lineup and everything, I don't know, it just, for me, for some reason, it just doesn't come out right. I always find myself backtracking, always having to go back over everything and re-trimming his beard to kind of fit the tapers that I've just put in. Maybe I take out too much hair that when I did do the tapers. So I like to get done with everything first and then go ahead sculpt the beard right after. At the mustache again. Now whenever I'm going with the grain, as you can see, as I'm doing right here on the mustache, as I did on the sides of the hair, I'm not really digging into the hair. I'm kind of laying that back part of the clipper down, and whatever kind of is poking out, any stray hairs that are poking out, kind of get fed through the clipper. I like doing that better. It kind of collects the hair right before it hits the teeth of the clippers, especially with that 2-guard. It kind of feeds hair right through. It just takes down hair on the beard a lot easier and kind of lays it down, gives you a nice little basis. If clients usually tell me like, hey, I just want to keep everything nice and dark, don't take it down too much, just kind of take out the strays, I'm not gonna freehand it. I'm usually just gonna go over it, going with the grain, combing out and kind of getting any hairs that are sticking out, and it usually gives them the look that my clients are looking for. Again, just going over that line, starting from the corner of the mouth, working my way up, just because I can see and kind of visualize what arch I want to create with my line. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and grab a white towel and place it right below his beard, kind of make sure his beard is poking through, using a wooden comb, because any other comb, any plastic comb, kind of give you a little bit more staticky feel. Make sure everything's all nice and combed out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start from the middle. Now with this beard trim, I do like using my Fade Masters. I just feel I get a crisper cut. The hair feeds through the teeth of the blade a little bit better. And I'm always starting from the middle and working my way to the outside. Now, as you can kind of see, I'm not really going in too much in the bulkness or the darkness of the beard. It's more where the hair kind of starts spreading out a little bit more and it kind of gets a little bit lighter on the outsides. And that was kind of what my client wanted. And it's important to understand how much hair your client does want off his beard, just because you don't really deal with clips and you don't really deal with guards number. You're kind of just eyeing it and freehanding. So you want to get a good idea of what your client look is going for and how to best get that look. To keep a full beard and to give him a little trim, I just like to take off the hairs that kind of make that beard just look a little bit too frizzy. I want to make sure that beard looks nice and dark and whole again and not kind of frizzing out at the very ends. I want to make sure it looks all nice and crisp. And as you could tell through this beard video as well, or through this video, I'm always going back over my work, kind of going and combing through. I'm always combing, making sure everything and all the hairs are sticking out, and I'm gonna get any hair that just doesn't want to lay down. And then I go ahead and take my blow dryer, blow dry the beard one time, just get off any hairs that might be stuck up in there that I've already cut off. Comb it out one last time, go over it, and then I'm gonna take out my shears and just kind of go over that beard. Any other strays that didn't maybe want to get cut by my clippers, I can go ahead and cut that off with my shears. Go ahead and make sure everything's all nice and laying down with my comb. You guys can see that line on the bottom looking a lot more uniform, looking a lot nicer already, but we still have to go ahead and straight razor my dude up. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some clear shaving gel. I like to use clear shaving gel just because you can see everything that you need to be doing. It doesn't kind of impair your vision. I mean, it still gives you the benefits of using a shaving gel. When I'm straight razoring him, I do work my way from like the top of the sideburn down. That's only because I already created that line. I'm just following that line, and I'm always pulling in the opposite direction. I do straight razor my clients when I do a beard at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 times. Go through the whole line, wipe it off with a towel or a brush, and then go back through it to make sure I re-hit and make sure I make that shit extra sharp. So you see a lot of repeating. Go ahead, brush it back through again, knock off any excess, any clumping of that shaving gel, and re-hitting that line. Go ahead and hit right behind that back side of the beard too. We want to make sure all that hair is all taken down. And then you go ahead and grab my enhanced hair fibers. Now, I don't know why I didn't check, or maybe it was just the video camera didn't want me to show you guys how I'd use my hair fibers on beards. But I apply a nice light line, a nice light spray first. I like keeping and like applying my hair fibers pretty natural. Go ahead, apply that first layer. Go ahead, use my trimmers, kind of knock off any excess, reline them up with the straight razor line to make sure all those fibers are in tune with the line. And then I go ahead and spritz them up to make sure all the hair fibers hold on. I don't want them going outside and having the hair fibers blow off after I did all that work. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry them down as well. And then the same thing, rinse, repeat on the other side. Go ahead and straight razor them up. That little technique he's doing with his mouth too, by the way, is a good way I like to go ahead and attack around the mustache area on beards. Sometimes clients get lazy and don't want to help you out. I always tell my clients and kind of give them like little face examples of how I want them to pull their face in certain directions when I get around that area of the mouth, just to get better angles. It's hard to get a good angle around the nose. Even the chin sometimes it's hard. Go ahead and hitting that straight razor once more time, making sure that line is all sharp. And you always want to be checking in the mirror, looking at your client in the mirror, make sure both sides of the lineup is matching up. That would be be tragic if you left your client with some uneven lines and they got up at the chair, one line is higher than the other. And then you want to go ahead, after you finish that up, go ahead and hit that bottom line one more time. You might have a couple hairs sticking out. His beard is looking a lot better than what he came with. It's not as bushy, but it's still that nice beard look that a lot of guys want, but is a lot more cleaner looking now. As you can see, we finished him up, and that's how you trim up a beard, and that's how you line up a beard with your boy Deluxe with hair fibers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching and all your support. I got a lot more videos coming out. Anything you guys want to see, always go ahead, shoot me a DM on Instagram or comment below. We out.